Hello and welcome to the classes of Vedic astrology. Currently, since the last few classes, we are trying to understand that what are the karakas of every planet and what are the general indications that an individual can use, or the general indications that an individual can see, feel, in order to understand whether that particular planet or whether a particular planet is behaving well or not behaving well in that individual's life. So the topic overall is karakas and indications of a particular planet. Indications means whether that planet is giving good effects or whether that planet is giving bad effects in that individual's life. And in today's class, we will be understanding about the planet Rahu. Rahu, indicates, or Rahu plays a role in society and culture. So whenever we try to understand about society, whenever we try to look at and understand the culture, so in society and in culture, Rahu has a role to play. Or you can say society and culture, Rahu is the karaka of it. Mobile phones, computer, or mobile phones, computers, laptops, or any technological gadgets, Rahu is the karaka of all of these technological, equipments. Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, again Rahu has a role to play in it. It is believed, as per Vedic astrology, that Wi-Fi is the karaka of Rahu. Anything that is electronics, anything electronic oriented, again Rahu is the karaka of it. Engineering, again again Rahu is the karaka of it. Even garbage, something that is not considered to be good, or like garbage, dirt, bad smell, bad odor, garbage bags. So all of these particular aspects, Rahu, Rahu is seen, or Rahu has a role, in all of these things. So in order to improve Rahu, how you have to understand is wherever you are staying or wherever you are working, it should not be, your workplace or your home, your abode, it should not be filled with dirt. The garbage area, the garbage dispenser, the garbage can, it should be hygienic and it should be daily cleaned. It should also be maintained properly, because from that garbage only, if garbage is not maintained properly, if somebody is not being organized whenever it comes to the aspect of discarding their garbage on a daily basis, it emits bad smell, because bad smell definitely comes from the garbage. All right, so bad smell can enhance the negative effects of Rahu, or it can prevent Rahu from giving its positive effects. So try to remove dirt. Your dirt means anything, whatever you are, working with, wherever you are staying. Your place should be, dirt free, and for that you have to daily clean your place. It should be maintained in a very clean, neat, in a very tidy way. You have to maintain it. And that's what I had already mentioned. The place where you throw garbage or you collect garbage means the waste that is collected in your house or in your workplace, that should be discarded properly and on time, so that that particular area of that particular house or that particular space does not emit any foul or bad smell. And bad smell can also occur because of a lot of reasons. So you have to make sure that wherever you are, there is no bad smell coming from anywhere around. All right. So if you maintain the hygiene, if you maintain the sanctity, if you maintain your place in a very clean way, bad smell definitely doesn't come. And if in case the more organized, the more proper your place is, whether workplace or your personal space, your Rahu will give positive effects. Handicapped people, blind people, deaf people, people with different abilities, or some say people with disabilities, PWD, all of these are characterized, or all of these, you can say it falls under the Karakas of Rahu. So if you want to look it in a particular way, if your behavior towards such people, if you're coming across towards such people who are handicapped, like who are deaf, who are blind, who has certain kind of disabilities in them, whether such people are working in your home, or you come across such people anywhere in any avenues of your life, or such kind of people are working in your workplace, you always have to maintain very good behavior towards them. You have to treat them with respect. You have to honor them. You have to honor their space. So you have to do whatever good you can for them. And if you do this, as per Vedic astrology, Rahu will get pleased because of your good attitude, your good behavior, especially towards such people. And definitely when Rahu will get pleased, Rahu will give good effects in your life. Rahu also deals with iron. Sudden and unexpected events in an individual's life, again, Rahu has a role to play in it. All right. So it can be like all of a sudden something is happening. It can be sudden gains. It can be sudden loss. It can be any unexpected activities occurring in your life. Whether those activities can be positive or negative, it will depend on how Rahu is behaving in your individual Lagna chart. So all of such kind of events which doesn't happen as per plan, which happens completely out of expectations, again, Rahu is the Karaka of all of such events happenings. Accidents, getting hurt, frequently come, accidents occurring in someone's life. Frequently a person is getting hurt physically. So all of these things, again, it comes under Rahu. Rahu has a role to play in it. And especially if accidents and hurts are happening, definitely this indicates that Rahu is somewhere creating some problems in your Lagna chart. So you have to do the Vedic astrological remedies to improve the functionality of Rahu, to strengthen Rahu so that Rahu will give good effects. And whenever Rahu will give good and positive and optimistic effects, then all of these negative things will not happen, or will be very much diminished in that individual's life. Also, negative Rahu indicates or has a role to play in thefts, dacoits, thieves, dacoits. They again, Rahu is known to play a role in such kind of people's mentality. Obviously, I'm talking about a Maraka Rahu, all right. and Maraka to a very intense level, all right, because then only such kind of activities a person can think of. Gambling, again, it again talks about Rahu, gambling, and all of these departments. Rahu, has, or Rahu is the Karaka of all of these departments. Share market, again, Rahu has a role to play in it. The mask that people wear, again, it is known to come under the Karaka of Rahu. Enthusiasm in a particular person, ambition in a particular person, the zeal, the energy, the desire to achieve something big in life. Again, Rahu, positive Rahu, has a role to play in all of these feelings, in all of these emotions, in all of these behavioral characteristics. Rebels, again, Rahu is known to play a role in all of these people. Madness means a person going completely mad. Obviously, it talks about the mental health, a person feeling psychotic, a person feeling chaotic, a person not being able to control his or her mental state in a stable way, which definitely creates madness in a negative way. Again, Rahu has a role to play in it. Under such situations, Moon also has a role. Definitely you will be able to understand that by now if you have watched all of my previous classes. Whenever we talk about mental health, the most important planet that plays a Karaka towards it, that is towards understanding an individual's mental health, is the planet Moon. And also it needs to be understood that madness also talks about that a particular person is completely crazy in order to achieve something in his life, in order to achieve something good. That particular person will not rest, will not get diverted towards anything unnecessary. That particular person will be completely mad towards attaining his or her goals and fulfilling his or her vision or mission in life. So this is also madness, but madness you can see in a productive way. This is also kind of an imbalance, because whenever there is madness, this is not a balanced emotional state. And if I want to talk about madness in a very optimistic way, it is seen that many successful individuals, they actually show that temperament where they don't want to listen to anything else. They are absolutely determined. They're completely like crazy in a very positive way, in a very optimistic way towards attaining success in life. All right. And how that individual defines their success, that we need to understand. That can definitely be understood by interpreting, analyzing that individual's horoscope in a very thorough way. That's a deep analysis. Illusions that a person has towards his or her life. Illusions means when a person's perception towards reality is completely wrong. It's completely, like you can say, airy fairy. Like it doesn't have any kind of real sense attached to it. Then we say that the person is living with illusions, all right, which is not practical, which is not ideal, and which is not realistic. Now, whether this is good or bad, it depends on that individual's overall functioning of Rahu, or it depends on other planets too. Because if it is not great and a person is living with illusions in a negative way, then that person will never be able to understand what the reality is, what he or she needs to do in real life in order to have a stable ground, right? In order to stand on a stable ground. But again, when the same Rahu is positive, illusions might be created, and these illusions are all about, visions. A person is having illusions that he or she will do something tremendous in life. For other people it might be sounding as illusion. Other people might not be able to understand if some person's vision towards achieving something is so unrealistic and so odd and so strange. So for other people it might be illusions, but for that person it is the reality. It might be illusion if you talk it in a particular technical way, but that person is absolutely determined into achieving whatever he or she is thinking about, which might sound unreal to other people, but for him or her it is surreal. So here illusions is positive. Now when I say illusions, these are the indications that a particular person needs to understand, or a practitioner of Vedic astrology needs to understand, whether the illusions that a particular person is living with, whether that will get converted, whether there is a probability of transforming, or there is a probability that the particular person who is having these illusions will transform it into reality at some point in their life, or it will remain as illusions only. Such indications are found out. If a particular person is self-aware, then he or she will only understand whether whatever he or she is thinking can be practical in the near future or in the far future or not, or that is obviously and will always be impractical. This is what are the indications that the particular person needs to be aware of. All right, the self-awareness needs to be there, whether madness, their enthusiasm towards something, their illusions towards something is healthy or it's not healthy. All right, somebody deceiving something, all right, for the negative. Deceit is never considered to be a very healthy word or a healthy behavior. So again, you can say a malefic or a Maraka Rahu plays a role in such kind of behavior and attitude. Deceiving is basically means manipulating others for selfish reasons, or manipulating others towards a not so good cause. All right, so then only we use the word deceit. All right, because deceit is never used in a healthy way. Suspicion. So if a particular person is highly suspicious of everything, then again Rahu is playing a role over here. All right, so suspicion towards something, it is believed that it comes under the Karaka of Rahu, or Karakas of Rahu. Psychology. Even though psychology is the study of the understanding of the human mind, psychology and mental health, they go definitely side by side. So psychology is all about the planet Moon, but again Rahu also plays a role in it. All right, to determine whether the psychology is overall positive or negative, Rahu also needs to be understood along with planet Moon and along with some other planets also. But that can be understood, again I'm saying the same thing, by deeply, properly and accurately interpreting and analyzing an individual's horoscope. Distraction. If a particular person is not able to maintain his or her focus towards his or her life, it can be towards any areas, it can be towards any pursuits, and if the person is getting distracted, a frequent distraction always envelops their mind and their thinking process. It again comes under the Karaka of a malefic Maraka Rahu. Crime, again it comes under the category, it falls under Rahu. Again, whenever if I'm talking about crime, and if a particular person is crime oriented, all right, has a mindset of committing crimes, then definitely Rahu is very, very Maraka. Or there might be other Maraka planets aspecting a Maraka Rahu, or Maraka Rahu can be forming some very inauspicious dosh, all of these things. But again, Rahu plays a role in all of these negative things. Greed, again, Rahu plays a role in it. The southwest direction of your house is believed to come under the planet Rahu. And I always say this, and I had said it for all the planets, whatever I had discussed so far in this particular topic, that if you want to improve the overall effects of a particular planet, then chanting its Bij mantra is always auspicious. Whether that particular planet is giving negative effects in your life, or that particular planet is giving positive effects but not to that much extent, chanting its Bij mantra will definitely improve the effects of such particular planets. Whether it is converting the Maraka effects into Yogakarka effects, or whether it is strengthening or amplifying the Yogakarka effects of a particular planet, Bij mantra does both of these things. Bij mantra knows what to do for you for that particular planet when you will be chanting the Bij mantra of a particular planet. So this was everything about the planet Rahu. Means, what are the karakas of planet Rahu? The general common karakas that a particular person should be aware of, especially a practitioner of Vedic astrology should be aware of all of these things. And also in today's class, we understood that what are the general indications of planet Rahu, that is whether Rahu will give or will be giving negative effects or positive effects, or whether Rahu is giving negative effects or positive effects. It depends on all of the points which I had discussed. Now it's up to you to decide, using all of these points, whether you are having some sort of problems related to all of these points or not. And using all of these points only, you have to understand that what you need to do, like what are the home remedies that you can undertake, you can do in order to improve the effects of Rahu, in order to receive the positive effects of Rahu in your life. So that's it for today's class. And in the next class, we will understand about planet Ketu. All right. So I will see you in the next class.